BS Show, Season 3, Episode 17. Sean Gankhorst with Justin Chasmore and Aaron Tyne, as always. And boys, it's been about a month straight I've been coming on the show saying we haven't been doing so hot. And I think we might have hit rock bottom last week. So I don't think it gets worse. I think we get better here. I mean, 2-7 on the week, running with the Bulls 0-6. Our overall records are just taking a tank. But we got a few weeks to save the ship. The overall is 61-64-1. Still got a chance to turn that to a winning record. We'll factor in the playoffs when it gets into it. But literally the final stretch, boys. 3 weeks left in the regular season. And how are we feeling with it?
Yeah, Gank. I mean, like you said, we still got a few weeks to salvage the records. We're not happy where we're at, of course. But old streaks do happen, I guess. So we'll just bounce back and see where we can go. Gonzo's staying hot, though.
Gonzo stays hot.
Gonzo's the one consistent thing that we got here. But no, I think 0-6 for running with the Bulls is, like I said to you guys, it's almost as impressive as going 6-0. So good job. The one good thing is that gift card just keeps going up. So whoever does
$60 this week.
Whoever does win that thing, it'll be a nice little gift. But we can't get much worse. So I'm excited to hopefully get back on track this week.
I mean, really can't get worse. We hope not anyway. We thought that last week too, I think. And
we did.
Sure enough, 2-7. But maybe this week could fix all. A lot of big games this week. Massive one at 4:25 with the Chiefs and Saints we'll get into. But as always, we're going to start with the Thursday night game and Gonzo, where we're heading to Vegas. And the Raiders hosting the Chargers. Your Raiders, 3-point favorites at home. Over under 53. Chaz, you said Gonzo was hesitant on this one, but you have to pick one.
Yeah, this was a weird one because he was going dead straight up at one of them and then quick hard right. And he is taking the Raiders -3.
Let's go.
Yep. And he's 10-4. He's won 4 straight, so he's going for the 5th straight win. Like I said, the one consistent thing on this show. But I was probably leaning this way too. I think it's a must-win game for the Raiders at home here. And the game last week, I mean, the Chargers won, but it was a game, the two teams that love blowing leads, and it looked like neither of those teams wanted to actually finish that game off. Matt Ryan throws the pick, and the Chargers get in field goal range and kick a game winner. So they finally got a win, but it wasn't a pretty one by any means. I think this is going to be high scoring because the Raiders defense is not good, and the Chargers haven't been playing great either. So I'll take the Raiders to win, get back on track, 30-24.
Yeah, Chazzy, I mean, I'm going to stick with Gonzo. He helped me beat Gank last week for one of my few victories this year. To be
You're at 5-9.
Yeah, 5-9.
Crawling back.
Not great. This is one of those toss-up games because both teams are very inconsistent. But I think we're seeing Herbert get a little bit of a regression. The past 2 weeks hasn't scored as much. Maybe their defenses are catching up to him. But it is a generous Raiders defense, to say the least. I like points. I don't like as many points as you. I think the under will actually hit in this game. But I'm going to take the Raiders to win. They got more to play for. And I think they've taken care of business against a Chargers team that just really isn't there this year and got lucky last week. So I'll go Raiders. Give me 27-21.
Yeah, I said I was probably going to go with Gonzo, but I think I'm going to go against Gonzo here. It's just, I think the Raiders win this game. I don't see them losing. I think the Chargers are just going to keep doing what they're doing. I really don't think the Chargers are that bad or even really got too lucky this week, but it's just year after year we're watching this team literally find new ways to lose. And this has one of those weird AFC West showdowns, and a Thursday night game I think will be fun to watch. I'm actually more Chaz. I see a lot of points in this one, have it actually going over. And it just screams a typical Charger loss here. I see this game, Chargers up late, very late, and I think they do something stupid where I think the Raiders find a field goal to win it. I'm going to take the Raiders, winning it late, but the Chargers keep it within the 30-28, Vegas.
Wow.
Gank just loves going against Gonzo.
Doesn't usually work for him.
It's hit or miss. We got Saturday football this week. I also keep forgetting that. This is 2 games, yes. Big time. We actually have Christmas football. following Friday too. Don't forget that.
Let's go.
Big couple weeks here.
Yeah.
Yeah, massive couple weeks. But of course, we're gonna start here. I think Gonzo picks a Christmas game too, so I don't think it's a Thursday night game. I think the Thursday game's just Friday. So
yeah, it is. That's his last one of the year.
Little Christmas special from Gonzo to close out the season.
Love that.
But Saturday, so start in Denver, where the Broncos are 6.5-point underdogs at home to the Buffalo Bills over under 50. And I always hate to pick against Denver at home. We're getting close. I feel like I say on the show a lot. Even if they're getting points, you find a way to cover spreads at home. We know it's not an easy place to go into and win. And it's a very rare place where crowd or no crowd, it kind of doesn't matter. It's just everything there, air, obviously. Not an easy place to go into, but this Buffalo Bill team is looking very good. And from what I've seen the past month, may be the next best team in the AFC behind the Chiefs right now. Pittsburgh's obviously look iffy. I'm not going to pick Buffalo over Pittsburgh quite yet, but I think things getting close. We obviously saw Buffalo beat Pittsburgh, but come January, I don't know if that would happen again. With that said, I do think Buffalo keeps things rolling here. 6.5 is a lot of points. I usually take that when Denver's getting that much at home almost all the time. But I'm going to stay off it this one. I think Buffalo's be able to come in here, stay hot, especially offensively. And I think they get a job done. Give me the Bills taking this one on the road, 27-20.
Gank, I mean, listen, let's start off with this. We all know I've been the highest on the Bills of anybody on this show. I got to say, that's the ones I was picking early. And I like them to win here, and I'm going to pick them to cover as well, just barely. I actually got a very similar score to you, Gank. But I am not too confident in this one because, like you said, Denver really could find a way to cover this late. And they just had a big win against the Panthers. Obviously, it's just the Panthers, but still, win's a win. And like you said, in Mile High, it's always a tough place to play. But Josh Allen's just hot. I think he's going to stay hot, and I think it's going to keep working. So I'll take Buffalo to win, and I think they will just barely cover. I'll go 28-21.
Yep, I'm with you guys. This is scary. I'm usually always on the Broncos.
Start the bold train.
Start it.
I really was hoping Adam took the Broncos to cover there. I'm not going to lie, but because 6.5 is a lot of points, and this Bronco team coming off a big win where Drew Lock just played one of his best games of his career last week, and the week before that, almost beating the Chiefs. But this Bills team, if they don't get that Hail Mary thrown on them against Arizona, they'd be on a 7-game win streak right now. And they're playing arguably the best football in the league right now. Josh Allen has put his name in the MVP category. He's not going to win it, but he's playing out of his mind, and I'm just not going to pick against them right now. I think they're playing too good. Their defense continues to get better each week. And I think this is a big game for them because they got their huge win at home on primetime last week. How do you follow it up? I think they go take care of business here in Denver. I'll take them 27-17.
Starts early Saturday. I like it.
Yeah.
See what we get to on Saturday here is now we go to Green Bay hosting team Denver just beat last week in Carolina. Green Bay 8.5-point favorites at home. Another high over under at 51.5. That's 3 games in the 50s to start. Kind of love to see that. But we saw what Drew Lock did for the Panthers defense last week, throwing 4 touchdowns against Selman. It's only scary on who I think MVP frontrunner Aaron Rodgers could do against this team. I think Aaron Rodgers comes out with a big game. 8.5 is a big spread, but I see the Packers kind of scoring points, scoring at will. And I think this defense that, obviously this Packers defense has been pretty questionable all year. I do think this defense has talent to get it together. Carolina's offense does not scare me at all, so I think they will be able to slow them enough. McCaffrey obviously still not coming back. I just think Green Bay rolls at home here on Saturday night. Give me the Packers 34-20.
Yeah, I mean, last time the Packers played at home as a night game, they absolutely destroyed the Bears. So I'm not going to pick against Aaron Rodgers at home at night. I really don't like to pick against Aaron Rodgers at home at all. And I don't see them being stopped against the Panthers. There's a certain type of team that will beat the Packers. It's a physical team up front that can stop the run and run all over them. And the Panthers are neither of those. So I just don't see that happening. This game doesn't concern me at all for Green Bay. Big. And, Devontae and Aaron Rodgers keep rolling like they have been. So similar score to you, Gank. I'll go a little bit lower scoring. I'll go 31-17 Green Bay.
Running both games on Saturday.
Running the whole Saturday.
What could go wrong?
With fucking favorites. I hate that.
Hey, we got to hit one, right? I'm with you guys for a lot of what you said. I think the Packers are they're rolling right now. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, every week, you're getting 300 yards, 2 or 3 touchdowns. He's playing the most consistent football of his career, arguably. And this Panthers team, a bad loss last week to the Broncos at home. No McCaffrey again, it doesn't sound like. Hopefully things change and hopefully we can get out there. But I think the Packers here, their offense is going to be too much. And this Panthers defense is just very, very bad. So Rodgers could have a field day. Packer rolling. I'm going to continue to pick them. There's not really a reason not to. So I'll take the Pack 30-17.
Go Pack, go. Adam, on to the next one. As you said, not really caring for the Green Bay game, but here's one that you might care about. Your Bears traveling to Minnesota. Vikings 3.5-point favorites at home. Over under 46.5. Bears back on the winning end last week, Adam. They keep it going.
The Bears are I don't think they're going to run with the Bulls because I'm picking them to cover. And Gank, I believe you said you'll never pick them again. So we'll see. I said this going into this year, the Bears would go 9-7 and just miss the playoffs as the 8th seed this year. And I still think that's going to happen again. But I think they're going to lose this game in Minnesota, but I think they cover. Real heartbreaker as usual. They keep it close, but the Vikings have kind of found a way, I feel like, to win those close games this year, whereas the Bears really haven't. And this past week, obviously they ran all over Houston, but the way Houston's playing, you could argue they're one of the worst teams in the NFL all overall. They just have Deshaun Watson. So Khalil Mack had a great game this week, and it was obviously good to watch. But I think it stops here, and I think Mitch playing really well the past 2 weeks kind of slows down as well. I'll take the Vikings to win. Bears cover. I'll go 23-20.
Yeah, I don't know. I did say I'm never picking the Bears again. Well, this year anyway. We're not going to say never, but yes, I did say I'm never picking them again this year. And as much as I do want to pick them with that hook, I'm 100% also sticking with my statement here. Bears to get the win. Mitch actually not playing that bad as of late, but just got a chance against the Vikings defense to kind of stay hot too. I just don't see it. I think the Vikings, as it has shown, has been the much better team between these two the second half of the season. Obviously, coming off the loss to Tampa, not looking as impressive, but I think they come back home here, bounce back, get the win. And like I said, as much as I want to take the Bears plus 3.5, I'm definitely not selling out after 1 week, especially against a team traveling on the road against a team I think that's going to beat them. So give me the Vikings to win, Vikings to cover 24-20.
I'm going to take the Bears to win, boys.
Oh, wow.
Oh, my goodness.
They screwed me last week. The biggest I don't think the Vikings are honestly that good. And like Gang said, Mitch is playing pretty good football right now. And when you have Mitch being able to throw the football and you have David Montgomery running the way he is, they're going to, I think, put up points again because this Vikings team, their defense isn't very good. And the last couple of weeks, I mean, I know the Bears just got their first win in a few weeks, but the Vikings haven't been playing very well. Had a bad game last week against Tampa. They barely skated by Jacksonville, barely skated by Carolina. I think the Bears with Mitch rolling and Montgomery rolling, I think they're gonna find a way to get a dub here. And I don't know why. I'm gonna take them though. I'll take them 24-23. Go the game, Montgomery.
I give Chad because even though the Bears keep messing with him, he still picks them. I give him credit there.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Travis, I tell you what, I've been taking that bait all season with the Bears. It doesn't work.
Oh, I know.
Doesn't work. The second you pick against them, though, they'll go and win. So
Well, that's what happened to me last week. So
yeah. Oh man. Fucking, we gotta stop picking that team. They may be the most questionable. You don't know what you're gonna get team week in and week out.
Yeah,
In the whole league.
I mean, the Raiders are one of those teams too. The
The
Raiders,
Raiders are up there.
Cardinals.
Yeah, but
Cardinals, yeah, that's a tough team. But no, the Bears for sure. I mean, because you got Mitch as your Q. It's like when you have a guy like that as your quarterback, you don't know what you're gonna get.
yeah, well, Mitch is fucking bipolar on deciding if he wants a good game or not. And at the same time, kind of actually similar to the Ravens, like defense that's fucking loaded, but more times than not, they show up, but you don't know when they're going to show up too. Sometimes they're like, we're going to take this game off.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. This brings us to Chaz's favorite team, Tennessee Titans, 10.5-point favorites at home here against Detroit. I'm going to start with this one. I love Tennessee in this game. Green Bay, obviously, coming off the win. We got no over-under in this game. Does that have to do with Matt Stafford, possibly? Or
yeah, I don't think he's playing.
yeah, don't think that. I'm going to pick Tennessee in this game. Tennessee this time of year last year started playing their best football, and Derrick Henry has obviously just been amazing all season. He's got another chance to have a big game here. I don't see Detroit being able to stop Derrick Henry. And with all the injuries on the Lions, defensive line in their secondary, top two corners are out last week. See what they're doing this week, but just all their injuries on their defense. I think this is Tennessee easily at home, written all over it. I think Derrick Henry could have a field day if he wants. I think Ryan Tannehill could go out and have a game and start. I think this is an ideal game for Tennessee. Build momentum going to the playoffs, and with Derrick Henry and that run game going, maybe make a similar run to they made last year. Wouldn't you love that one, Chaz? But give me the Titans at home here with ease over the Lions, 34-17.
Gank will just take any way he can throw that Titans win over the Ravens last year. Any time possible. I didn't know Stafford wasn't playing. I thought with Stafford the Lions would cover, but if he's not playing, I love the Titans here. And I'm going to assume he's not because I guess he's not going to. Gank, you hit on a lot of points that I agree with. They get hot around this time. If you can't stop Derrick Henry, though, you're not going to beat the Titans. And I have no idea how the Lions, even if they put like 11 guys in the box, I don't know if they could stop him. So, it doesn't concern me there. And once he gets going, Tannehill gets going. So, I think Tennessee has a big day. Gank, I know you're going against Derrick Henry, so sorry for that. But
I don't know anything about that.
I see him cruising here, easily getting to 30 points, and Detroit maybe tries to keep it close, but in the end, it's 2 touchdown games. So I'll go 34-17 as well, Tennessee.
Yeah, with no Stafford, I don't think this game stays close, unfortunately. So I'm going to take the Titans too.
Both
running.
No Stafford, no Galladay. It's Chase Daniel time, and the Titans at home getting ready for that December run. Yep, getting ready for that December run that they're bound to go on. And what we saw from Derrick Henry last week, like how are the Lions going to stop him? I don't think they are. It's going to be a big day for I think the Titans offense, and I just don't think the Lions can score enough points with Chase Daniel under center to keep up. So I'll take the Titans to win here, 30-17. But that is bearing, Stafford not playing.
That's it. Second in the Titans division here in the AFC South. Houston and Indy here. Indy -7 over under 51. Now, talk about how I had a problem picking the Bears all season long on this show, but I feel like I picked the Titans or the Texans a lot too on this show. Like a lot, almost every week. Because I refuse to believe they're as bad as their record actually shows. And I ain't going to lie, I'm going to pick them again. If this team's if Deshaun Watson's getting 7 points, I'm more than likely going to take it. And, the Texan team has obviously been a huge question mark all year. We've seen good things out of the Colts, defensively. We've seen Phil Rivers even show flashes. Seen a team that's more than likely a playoff team in Indy, but something where I just can't pick against Houston, especially some of these AFC South games. I think Houston's able to keep this one close. They know this team. I think Indy pulls it out at home. I almost want to pick Houston on the upset, but Colts team weird, and this feels like this could be a game they even lose too. That all said and done, give me the Colts to win, though. Texans to cover 24-23.
Yeah. The big reason I think the Texans cover here is just because it's an AFC South game, and you truthfully never know what will happen in those games. So, I'm not going to – the Colts are another team that could not show up, and the Texans could go out and win this game. Again, I mean, like you always say it, they're not as bad as the last week. I mean, Texans got embarrassed by the Bears last week, and I think they bounced back. J.J. Watt and Deshaun Watson are good enough leaders on the team where they will find a way to bring it together and figure it out, especially against a team they know. I like the Colts to win, but I think the Texans keep it close and lose a heartbreaker. Maybe a Rodrigo Blankenship game-winning field goal. But I'll go 7-24 Indy.
God, I can't. We're running.
Oh,
A lot of games.
God.
I cannot believe we're running on this one, honestly. I locked the Texans last week, or 2 weeks ago when they played the Colts. They should have won. Watson, 341 yards, and they were 2 yards away from winning that game. I know they got smoked last week to the Bears. They're not as bad as that showing last week. This Colts defense giving up 24 points a game. They're not as good as we thought. I think this game stays close. I think the Texans know they should have won 2 weeks ago. I think this game stays close. Gank, I'm with you. I want to take them outright as well, but I'll give the Colts the win here just because I don't have faith in the Texans to actually get the win. But I'll take the Texans to cover, Colts to win 30-27.
What's that, 4 games we're running already?
Already. And I
Let's
think
go.
maybe that's dangerous.
Let's go. We might be running here. Who knows? But Chaz heading to your Ravens now, home against the Jags. 13-point favorites at home, over under 47.5. Impressive win for Baltimore in the game of the year against Cleveland on Monday night. How they followed it up with this one.
Yeah, I mean, that was an amazing game as a fan to watch, right? Like, very exciting, just how everything unfolded. But for me, I picked the Browns to win last week, like you guys know, and it was simply because I didn't think the Ravens defense played good against the Cowboys. They just let up 40+ to the Browns, blew another 14-point lead, and got lucky that Lamar Jackson came back and threw that touchdown to win the game. And then they also led a touchdown up right after that and made the Ravens go kick a game-winning field goal. So with that being said, they got the win. Don't feel great about it. I'm taking the Jags to cover here. It's way too many points for the Ravens, who, like I just said, their defense isn't playing good enough to think they cover 2 touchdowns. I think they win, but the Jags with Minshew Mania back, I think they'll be able to put up points. So I'll take the Ravens 30-20.
So we are officially not running with the Ravens. I see this as one of those games the Ravens have every few weeks that they just absolutely go out and crush a bad team. Because they do. I mean, that's just kind of how they do it. And even though they kind of cruised in the first half against the Cowboys, they end up winning by 17 points, right? So,
We missed field goals.
Okay, fair enough. But the Jags have given me no reason defensively to think they can stop Lamar Jackson. And I think that's a huge win for them last week. That's going to kind of catapult them into a few wins in a row, get them hot for playoffs. And I think it's just one of those games where you beat a good team. Maybe you get a little lucky, but it just gives your team confidence. So I like the Ravens to win. I love them to cover here. I think this is a huge win for them. The defense shows up. I'll go 34-13 Baltimore.
Jags.
Big upset.
Blowout.
21.
13-point underdog.
In the Baltimore for the dagger.
I'm 100% with Adam on this one. I'm literally everything he just about said. I think this is a game Baltimore comes out and just absolutely crushes the Jaguars. We always talk about how the Ravens do have these games against teams that are simply better than them, and Jacksonville's one of those teams that are simply better than them, where they could just come out and dominate you. It's obviously the better teams that showed some issues, but Lamar, it's a different Lamar than we've seen from, the month leading into that game this past week against Cleveland. He was able to get that rush touchdown early, and that's big for him because when he gets going, it looks like he's having fun. It doesn't get in his own head. Then, he's a guy that can actually play football the way he's supposed to play football. And that's not throw the ball too much. Don't be scared to run on your feet. and good things happen for that whole entire offense, as we saw in 47-point game. As for the Ravens defense, that was obviously a huge question. I mean, we all know I've been big on picking the Jags to cover this year, especially backdoor. I still think the Ravens defense is much better than what we've been seeing recently, and very similar to what I said about the Titans. It's almost seems like a game where the Ravens have a shot to blow a team out, really try to figure things out and get things going into the last couple of weeks of the season, into the playoff stretch. I got the Ravens winning this one big at home. I don't think it's close. I don't think it's ever close. We saw the Ravens beat Miami 45-3 last year. I won't go that insane, but I will say Ravens 38-13. Chaz, I feel like you hated to hear that.
I mean, what I've seen from the defense last 2 weeks, 2 touchdowns is way too many points. This does feel like a game where the ideal Ravens blowout is coming, but at the same time, their defense I don't think has played this bad in those weeks. So
defense hasn't played this bad in 2 years.
It is a get right game, like you said. We'll just see if they can actually get right.
So that's a fan's opinion.
Yeah, this is 100% a fan. It's very critical.
Yeah.
Very fair.
So.
All right, let's go to the key AFC East showdown with your Dolphins here, Adam. Your Dolphins, 2.5-point favorites over the New England Patriots. Things you thought you'd never say in 2020, but here we are. Over under whopping 41.5. Jesus Christ, that might be the lowest over under I've seen all season. Adam, your Fins, they put New England to rest for good this year.
Yeah, I think so. This is another one of those games where I know they got these points, or it was a similar spread against the Broncos, and you guys were picking, go back game. But I think the Dolphins just know how to play the Patriots. I feel like they've played them really well and beaten them the past few times. Even when Brady was there, they had some struggles. So, the Fins defense, I don't see how the Pats put up points against them. It's a really good defense against a really bad offense, and that's just not a good combination for New England. So I think Miami wins here. I think it is a brutal game to watch. But I like the Fins, especially with 2.5. I mean, even if they win a field goal, they get that. So I like Miami, maybe a defensive touchdown. Cam struggles like he has been, and the Fins roll. Give me 24-14 Miami.
I mean, I want to be with you. We do know New England has struggled traveling to Miami. We have seen that. But I don't know. I almost think everything's just flipped. It's 2020. Things are fucked. This is actually one of my bigger stay away games of the week right here, because New England is almost in that category with Chicago, where you don't know what you're going to see. Like I said, Miami has given New England problems at home in the past, and this is the best Miami team. It's the worst New England team we have seen in the past, and it all adds up where Miami should cover this -2.5 easy. But kind of talked about pre-show, just one of the fishier lines I've seen out here. I think New England's actually going to flip the script here when it matters more in desperate wins. I think they go into Miami and win the game. Like I said, I'm staying away from this game. I want to touch it, but I'm going to pick New England to win it outright 20-17.
Yeah, this is one of the fishiest lines of the week. 100%, I agree with you. But I think the Dolphins here, coming off a game that they made, I mean, they had a lead last week against KC, blew it, ended up covering. But I think here, they could put the final blow on the Pats. And Brian Flores and this Dolphins team, I don't think would like anything else than to put the final dagger into the Pats at home here to get that big win, move to 9-5. I think it's going to be an ugly game. I think the Dolphins, though, I mean, obviously they need it. They're playing for a wild card spot. I just think, and from what we saw from the Pats last week, that offense, I mean, is just brutal. Cam can't really move the ball with them, and I think the Dolphins defense shows up. So I'll take the Dolphins to win 23-16.
Oh, there he is.
Fishy. Oh, there he is.
Here's the goat.
Over to the show, Bull. There he is. He's going to go straw on out of here. Keep the tail on the pick.
Yeah.
All right. He ain't leaving. He ain't letting you go, Bull.
What?
He's just chilling. Where the hell are we at? Sorry, I had to step away. Not really. Dallas San Fran. Back to a big NFC East game where God knows what's going to happen again because everything got fucked last week when the Giants lost and everybody else won. But here we are, Dallas at home against San Fran. Dallas getting 3, over under 45.5. I mean, Gonzo, good luck tomorrow. I'm picking against you. There he is.
He
just wants
There it is.
advertised.
There it is.
He's like, I'll find a spot.
That's what we love to see.
There it is.
Got to show his face after running 10-4 for us.
Yeah.
He's like, you're all listening to these fucking bums. I got winners. All right, back to San Fran, Dallas. All last year was very high on Dallas. Didn't work for me. And even up until Dak got hurt, I was pretty high on Dallas even this year, but wasn't working out for me. Then I finally learned to fade Dallas, but this time I'm going to be right back on Dallas. I like them getting 3 at home here against San Fran. San Fran has been pretty banged up all year. Fought through it for the most part through the first half of the season, but you can kind of tell recently, I think it's starting to catch up to this team. Teams have been able to see enough of the Niners to know, with all these new guys coming in for injuries, what they're getting thrown at them. And Dallas has actually been playing somewhat better now that Dalton's been able to play for some consecutive weeks. So I think they win this game outright at home. Love them getting the 3 points, that's for sure. Give me the Cowboys in this one, 21-17.
Gank, I'm against you here, man. I actually love the Niners this week. The Cowboys, yes, they won 30-7 against a terrible Bengals team without Joe Burrow, so that doesn't show anything to me. And I like the Niners to win here. They do look like they haven't played as well recently, but Kyle Shanahan's a good coach. I think I still believe in their defense, and I don't believe in the Cowboys at all this year. I'm completely against them. So, I think it's just one of those games where the physical team wins and the Cowboys struggle to play defense against the run. So possibly a big Jeff Wilson Jr. day, but we'll see. I'll take the Niners to win by a touchdown. I got 24-17 San Fran.
Yeah, I'm with Gank on the boys. I was on the Niners last 2 weeks and, thinking they would play inspired since, they were playing in Arizona, not being able to see their families and everything like that, and just laid an egg. I mean, they lost last week and didn't let up an offensive touchdown. I think the Cowboys obviously got a win last week. They are playing. I mean, they're 4-9, but they're playing for a lot more because the NFC East is still within reach. Fred Warner and Mostert got hurt again for the Niners last week, and I think they just moved to 5-8. I think they didn't get the 2 wins at home or in Arizona. Now they got to go on the road. I don't see much motivation for them here, so I will take. I'll take the boys 21-17.
Adam, that's one I'd be heavily interested in betting if you are.
Once
we get back to it. Yeah, once we get back to it, I'm just going to throw that out there.
Okay, it's a possibility. I don't love it, but I think we've agreed on most, so we'll see where we're at.
Welcome back, Gonzo. Sticking the NFC East now, Washington football team home against Seattle, the new hottest team in the NFC East here. Now 5.5-point dogs at home to Seattle, over under 44.5. And I'm going to pick Seattle to win this game. Obviously, want Seattle win this game, but I think Washington's going to find a way to cover this 5.5. Their defense has been very impressive. It's the Giants' defense, it's Washington's defense, why these two teams went from the basement of a terrible division to the two teams fighting for the top spot in it right now. And you saw the Giants defense actually able to somewhat slow down Russell Wilson, obviously. And I think Washington could almost do the same. I do think Seattle wins this one in Washington, but 5.5 is a lot of points for this team at home that has been playing pretty well recently. So give me Seattle and win. Washington and cover. I got it 24-21.
I think this line might have moved since pre-show. I thought it was 6.5 when I looked. I could be wrong though.
It's very possible. I've seen it before.
Yeah, I thought it was 6.5. But either way, Gank, I like the Seahawks to win and cover here. Yes, Washington is playing great and they've beaten good teams. Don't get me wrong. But eventually you go against a QB that just makes plays. And I think they're just on that path for a letdown. I don't think they're going to go to 7-7. I think this NFC East is crazier than it already is. And Russ I think he needs a big bounce back game. And they just beat the Jets, but I really like them to win and cover and just kind of get rolling and get into that, December Seattle Seahawks team. So I like them to win. I like them to cover. I'll go 28-21 Seattle.
Yeah, I'm on Seattle too here. I think last week they got right. Russ threw 4 touchdowns. He got pulled in the third quarter for Geno Smith. And their defense rolled. And I think Washington, don't get me wrong, 4-game win streak. Their defense is playing very good. But the offenses they've played, San Fran, they can't score against anyone. They played Pitt and they held them in check. But even the last few weeks for Pitt, their offense is struggling. Dallas and Cincinnati. So I think this is a huge test for them. And at home, I think it's a spot that I think a lot of people are going to take Washington with the points. But I think Seattle got back on track last week. I think they're 9-4. I think this is a huge game for them. I think they get the job done here. So and also it might be Dwayne Haskins starting for Washington. It's either him or a banged up Alex Smith. So I'll take Seattle 27-20.
Okay. Brings us to Atlanta, and Atlanta 6-point home dogs to Tampa Bay, over under 50.5. I want to pick Atlanta, but I need you two to go first. I need somebody to talk me out of picking Atlanta because I feel like that's stupid. I don't know what either of you two are thinking about it, but if somebody has Tampa, take it first and tell me why. Or if not, then I think we're fucked if we're going with the balls with Atlanta. But anybody on Tampa?
I feel like Jazzy always starts with the Falcons, right?
I tend to send it his way because the Falcons are one of his common teams to say.
I'll start first. I am taking them to cover.
There it is.
I took the Bucks to cover last week against the Vikings, but I do not think they cover this week. I think this game is high scoring because you can throw on the Bucks and you can also throw all over the Falcons. So I think both these quarterbacks could have a big day, and these receivers, but I think no Ronald Jones. It doesn't sound like he's probably not going to play for the Bucks. I think that's a big loss. And I just think this Falcons team at home is kind of due for a game to play well and just kind of blow it at the end. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen here. I think the Bucks win. But like I said, I really like the points. I'm going to take my Falcons again to cover. 6 is a lot of points. So I'll take the Bucks to win 30-27.
All right. Well, we're not running with the Falcons, boys.
I wasn't going to let it. Adam, you could have picked the Falcons. I would have just said, fuck it, Bucks -6. I don't think I could run with that.
Dude, I've been off the Falcons. And to Chaz's credit, he's picked them pretty well, even through losses to cover. But for me, this game is so big for the Bucks. They understand, as does Brady, of course, that they can't even let anything slip. They're 8-5, but, and they'll make the playoffs, but every game counts. And, with the Saints loss that just happened, they still feel that they can at least give a shot at the division if possible. But either way, I like Tampa to win. I like them to cover here. I don't think they let off the pedal off the gas. And because I think they do take Atlanta seriously a lot more than other teams will. So I like them to win. I like them to cover. I'll go 28-20 Tampa.
Like I said, I want to pick the Falcons. I don't think it makes sense. So my head's obviously all over the place in this one. Obviously not going to touch it. If I were to touch it, Falcons to parlay play, teaser play. But you look at the 6 points, and when it's all said and done, I'm just going to pick Tampa. So I'm not even that high on Tampa this year either. I've been so up and down on them all year too. And more so on the downside with them and kind of the stay that way unless they want to make this incredible Super Bowl run I don't see. But I do think they are able to take care of Atlanta here. Tampa just has a little more reason to play. I imagine Atlanta, obviously at home, so win you like to have, but Tampa's just been better than them this year. More to play. I think they try to keep going off that win last week to Minnesota. Give me the the Buccaneers 31-24.
Still caught up on the Vikings there, Buck.
I just said Minnesota talk. There we go. Um, this next game, Jets Rams, big spread. Rams 17.5-point favorites at home, over under 43.5. And the 17 number, officially 3-score game in football. Very rare number you see in spreads. Probably count on one hand the amount of times you see them in a single season. And this might be the third or fourth time we've seen it against the Jets this year. However, with that said, when I see a spread this big, I almost like to take the dog, getting all those points. I can usually find some small reason to where they could cover within a spread that's that big, but I can't even find any reason to defend the Jets. Like, find any reason where they find themselves inside that 17.5-point number. Rams defense just way better. Rams team just way better. Sean McVay should be able to find ways to score against its Jets team. I don't see where the Jets can even find a single way. I'm not surprised the Jets get shut out. I mean, they scored 3 points last week against Seattle defense. That's brutal. Rams with ease in this one. I'll give the Jets their field goal again. Give me the Rams 27-3.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the Jets lost 40-3 last week.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, I've been high on the Rams all year. Obviously, it's one of my teams, and I just don't see how the Jets move the ball on their defense. I mean, they just got 3 points against Seattle.
I don't know. Yeah.
One of the worst defenses like ever. So, I mean, they've gotten healthy, but still, I like the Rams here. 17.5 scares me, but I'm not going to think too much into it. I'm going to take them to win. I'm going to take them to cover. You have to score points to win games and stay close, and I don't see that happening. The Rams have a big day. Cam Akers probably keeps rolling. And I think this game is over early. So I'll take the Rams to win. Give me 28-6.
I really wish one of you guys took the Jets. We're gonna run. We're gonna run with the Rams.
I'm fine running with this one.
I don't think the Jets score more than 10 points here. I mean, they're averaging 14. They scored 3 against Seattle, and they're going to LA, who are coming off a long week, who just held the Pats to 10 points? How many? Like it was a dominant performance against the Pats. The
3
Jets,
points against the Pats.
Yeah, 3 points. Sorry, even worse. I think it's a big Cam Akers day. I think the Rams roll here. I don't think it's ever close. So I'll take 30-9 Rams. Couple field goals.
It's just everyone.
They got to combine like 15 points from all 3 of us.
Yeah. That's yikes. All right, this one's tough too. Philly traveling to Arizona here. Philly 6.5-point road dogs, over under 49.5. We've seen Jalen Hurts get his first start and beat a red hot Saints team, but I'm also not too surprised that Taysom Hill lost with that. It just had to come eventually. Sure enough, it just so happens to come at the hands of Jalen Hurts and a Philly team that's been a dumpster fire all year, but maybe Jalen Hurts was the spark they needed. However, look at this game as a whole with the spread. Cardinals 6.5 favorites at home. I think it's almost impossible to pick. I want to pick the Cardinals to win the game. I do think they win the game. Give me the Eagles to cover the 6.5-point spread, though. No, we haven't seen enough of Jalen Hurts yet to really know exactly what he's going to bring. And I think it could bring problems to the Cardinals defense because just like us, they obviously haven't seen enough of him yet either. And I do think he's able to keep this game close. Ever since he stepped in for once a couple of weeks ago, the offense just seems to be working a little better. The Arizona defense that's been average at best. I don't see why he can't keep this offense moving, but I think Kyler Murray could do enough against this Eagle team at home to squeak out the win. Give me the Cardinals in this one, 26-24.
So I locked against the Eagles last week, obviously, but I'm actually going to pick them to go in Arizona and win. I think Jalen Hurts is legit. I shouldn't have picked against him last week, but I did. He's a gamer, man. And Philly, say what you want. Carson Wentz wasn't the problem, but he really wasn't playing well. And I defended Carson Wentz as much as anybody, but Jalen Hurts can play. I mean, he could run. And with that offensive line, you need a quarterback to run. I think he had like 20 carries last week or something like that. And Arizona, they just got a win, but I'm just not seeing it from them. I think they're struggling. And Philly coming off a big win keeps it rolling here. I think they go and they win the game. and Jalen Hurts goes to 2-0 as a starter. I think that win over the Saints is huge for them. So I'll go 27-24 Philly.
See, I like it. I like the outright pick, but I'm with you guys on the Eagles plus the 6.5. I was on the Cardinals last week, and they got back on track, but I don't even think that was them being a really good team. I think the Giants, handed them a couple possessions. Danny Dimes obviously wasn't healthy, had some turnovers, and I think this Eagles team, who they just beat the Saints, the hottest team in the NFL, one of the best defenses in the NFL, and now they go to Arizona, who, like we said, we can never kind of figure this team out. But the way Jalen Hurts played, it's a spark to the team, and I think this Eagles team is going to feed off that, and they know, like Dallas and just like every other team in the NFC East, that they're still in play. That boy Gank, they're still in play for the NFC East, and I know just listening to Eagle Radio, now that they've Jalen Hurts under center, he's Lamar Jackson 2.0, and they're winning the East. So we'll see about that, but we'll take the Eagles plus 6.5. We'll take the Cards to win 27-24.
I need the Cards to win. I'm tired of this NFC East.
Wouldn't it just be the most NFC East for the Skins to lose, the Eagles win?
Yep.
The boys win. It would make
Dallas wins and like the Giants lose or something.
Yeah.
Everyone would be tied again.
Well,
Gang Super Bowl pick of the Giants might be gone. Who knows?
no, the Giants would need to win for everyone to be tied again because Washington's game up.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Actually, Washington might be 2 games up on Philly and Dallas even.
They have the division tiebreakers with all of them, right?
They have a Dallas. They beat them twice, and they only played Philly once. They beat them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the Giants had the division tiebreaker on Washington's. Giants beat them twice. Don't forget that.
We won't forget that, I promise.
Don't worry.
Because that could be key.
Yes, we understand how tiebreakers work. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, let's get to probably on paper the biggest looking game of the season. Going into the game pre-show, obviously we watched the Browns and Ravens probably give us the best game of the season so far, but on paper, this probably your best looking game going in, and this is a 1-loss Chief team traveling to New Orleans to face the Saints here. Saints 3-point dogs at home here, over under 51.5. You got the 1 seed in the AFC, you got the current 2 seed in the NFC. Gonna battle it out in this one. I said pre-show, I don't know who I'm picking in this game, but I want to pick the Chiefs. If you want to go way back to early in the year, obviously I've been high on the Chiefs since the start, as are most people. You got Pat Mahomes. It's not hard to be high on the Chiefs, and they've obviously been playing very well, as I see my runner-up of MVP to Aaron Rodgers right now. And then you got a Saint team who I always like, but never love preseason because I always think like this year Drew Brees just really ain't going to be it. But yet this team always finds a way to win. The Saints, however, I just don't think they're better than the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are simply the better team here. It's regular season. These 2 teams think they might see each other again. It's out of conference game. Both of them feeling pretty confident. I'm sure they're going to come out ready to play when they get a great game. But I also don't think either of these teams are going to really show their full hand to one another yet either this weekend. So I think the game's fun to watch. It's entertainment. I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win and cover. It scares me. Obviously a fun game to bet. If anything, bet the shootout. That may or may not happen, but just have fun with it. Give me the Chiefs to win and cover. I'll take them 28-24.
Yeah, listen, this is a great game, like you said, Gang, Super Bowl matchup. But Taysom Hill is going to beat bad teams because he can take care of the football for the most part. But against the Chiefs team, I don't see it. I think when you have
might get Breeze back though.
No, I think Breeze is out till week 15. They said, I thought, but
yeah, it's week 15, buddy.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
There it is, 18.
There it is. Week 15, attaboy. Either way, I'd feel a lot more confident, but I still like the Chiefs to win and cover here. Mahomes threw 3 picks last week and they still won by 6 points or 5 points. And that's just tells it all right there for me. I think Mahomes has a huge bounce back game, shows up. And I think the Saints secondary is not as good as people think it is. It's just their front seven. So they find a way to just, take care of business against New Orleans. If there were fans in this game, maybe be a different story, but no fans doesn't give me a huge home field advantage. I'll take the Chiefs to win, cover. Give me 31-21 Kansas City.
Yeah, I'm gonna go against you guys here. I'm gonna take the Chiefs to win.
I don't hate it. I don't like it.
I think you bring up a good point of not showing the hands. This is the Super Bowl matchup I picked before the year. I think a lot of people think this could be the Super Bowl matchup. And I think if Taysom Hill plays, I think the Saints are going to throw a lot at them that obviously isn't going to be happening in round 2 if they play again with Drew Brees. And I think the Saints being home, coming off a loss, I don't think their defense is going to play that bad as they did last week. I think they're better than that. And I think if there's another game the Chiefs lose, it's this one. And I think they might hold back like you said, might hold back a little bit because there's a realistic shot these two teams play again in February. So I'll take the home team here. And I think the Chiefs are going to lose another game. And I think this is it. So I'll take them 28-27.
I'll use that type of game though. That's what I need.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's what I need. Spring Street is Sunday night where my Giants are getting flexed into Sunday night for all your entertainment, boys. Here we go at home to the Browns. Giants 4.5-point dogs here, over under 45.5. Just talked about pre-show. Kind of recent news, obviously, at the track. Apparently, Daniel Jones, another leg injury, different from the hamstring that he has before. So his status obviously in question. But to be honest, I'm looking at this game and I'm actually not too concerned about his status when it comes in terms of this spread. The Giants 4.5-point dogs, I think is the number to take here. But fortunately, I'm going to have to pick a winner. My gut said tell me the Browns are somehow going to find a way to win this game, especially if Daniel Jones doesn't play. But regardless, I still love the 4.5 number due to the fact that, Browns obviously like to run the ball. They can run the ball, but Giants top 5 rush defense, they've shown that they could stop almost any run and stuff them running, kind of make the Browns uncomfortable, I think, in their little offensive game plan. My issue is I don't know how much Colt McCoy could do if he's starting, especially with Myles Garrett possibly running at him on the other side. Assuming maybe a comeback, but give me the Giants to cover this one. I hate to say it. I hope I'm wrong. To be honest, I've actually been wrong about a lot of Giant games this year. It's probably been the worst I've ever picked Giant games in my life. But give me the Giants to cover and the Browns to win close. I think it's low scoring. I think over under 45.5 is actually very high. Maybe slightly inflated due to the fact that the Browns did just score 42 points, but Giants defense will sell them a little bit better than what the Ravens defense did. Give me the Browns in ugly football game, 17-14.
Gank, to be fair to you, not picking the Giants, great. I don't think many people have. It's a tough year for them just in general to pick. But I love the under here, like you said. The Browns have put up points, but that doesn't surprise me against Ravens D that hasn't really shown up. And Giants defense is for real. Even when they lose, it's still, they still played well. And if Colt McCoy is starting, that makes the under even better. I love the under here. I like the Giants to cover and the Browns win. Similar score to you, similar game to you. But, I think Cleveland losing last week was a tough one, but they easily could have won that game. And unfortunately for the Giants, losing to Arizona might come back to haunt them in the end because this is a real tough game to win, even at home. So I'll take an ugly football game, but under, and I'll go 2017 Cleveland.
Yeah, I tipped my hand last week on this game. So, I'm taking the Giants to cover. I really want Danny Dimes to play because I really
– took something away, but you took something away with him playing too. I'm sorry.
I have it written down that the Giants are winning this game.
Yeah.
That was also before Danny Dimes is now doubtful. So either way, I'll still stick with my Giants plus the points. And fuck it, I'll take him to win. Either way, I'll take him to win.
Good job, boys.
Yeah, I said they were winning 1-2. This Browns defense is still not good. We've said it all year. And the Giants defense is good. I think they can slow down this Browns offense. I think everyone in the world is going to bet the Browns with the points here. I think I told you guys before, 95% of the bets already that have come in have been on the Browns. So I think that gives you a quick show of where the bets are going to come, especially if Danny Dimes doesn't play. So I don't think the Browns are that much of a better football team than the Giants if Danny Dimes can play. But either way, I said it last week, Giants are going to win. I'll stick to it. Giants 24-21.
I don't think I've ever been more wrong about a Giant team in my life than this season. I'm always going to talk shit with the Giants when they're doing good. What were you going to say, Adam?
Well, yeah, you have. Again, it might be true, but who's been picking the Giants right all year? I mean, it's like all.
Yeah, no, it's not that. It's like I said, I'm always going to talk shit about the Giants, but that's just me being a fan. That's who I am as a person. But usually deep down, I know what kind of team the Giants are. And I even said pre-show this year, and this is where I've never been more wrong in my life than I have been against the Giants. I come in pre-show this year, forget his first episode, second episode of the season. I just remember, quote unquote, because I said this to a lot of people too. I'm like, Giants are going to score points this year. I just don't think they could stop anyone.
Sure enough.
Biggest flip ever. Was not ready for that, but I guess I'll take it. Brings us into our Monday night game. Pittsburgh minus 12 and a half on the road. I almost said 20. That would have been a massive spread. Minus 12 and a half on the road here in Cincy. Over under 40 and a half. Usually I see spreads this big in division games, and it scares me. I'm almost automatically want to take the underdog, but this Steelers team that, coming off a couple consecutive losses, I'm still not ready to fade 100%. I still think their defense can be very good. I think Ben could still get things going. I still like the Steelers team a lot. Like I said, I got the Bills climbing up on them big, but I'm still not ready to pick the Bills to beat the Steelers if that game was to be played in January. Usually one of my first ways to kind of judge a team when I look at everything as a whole. And I still like the Steelers team. 12 and a half is a big spread in division, like I said, but I do think they go on the road and cover this year. Would never advise betting a division game road favorite minus 12 and a half. But this might be the only exception I ever make. I do think the Steelers go on the road, losing 2 in a row and just bouncing back. We've had a couple of these games already, as you said, a couple get-right games, and this almost seems like an ideal get-right game for Pittsburgh, Chance to get the offense going again. You got God knows who starting quarterback at Cincinnati anymore, so you can really get this defense that's loaded and talented flying around. Pretty similar to what the Ravens have this week, but I think the Steelers go to Cincinnati, win with the East to kind of right the track going into the final stretch of the playoff run here. Give me Pittsburgh in Cincinnati, 28-10.
Yeah, Gank. I mean, I completely agree with just about everything you said. I think there's a reason the over-under is 40.5 because Vegas knows that the Bengals will have a very difficult time scoring points against the Steelers. I see a huge game on that end. The offense might still struggle a little bit because they are struggling to run the football, but they smoked Cincinnati at home, I think, on week 10, and it was with Joe Burrow. So without Joe Burrow, that doesn't scare me at all. I think this spread actually should be a little bit bigger because the Bengals they're just not a very good team. So I love the Steelers to bounce back after losing 2 in a row and take care of business very easily against Cincy. So I will take them to win, cover. Give me 27-10 Pittsburgh.
Yeah, right there with you guys. Run it. I'm pretty short. I think Steelers get back on track, a get-right game. I mean, they killed the Bengals earlier on, just like AT said, that was with Joe Burrow. The Bengals just they just lost 30-7 at home to the Dallas Cowboys. So I think the Steelers, who obviously hate the Bengals, are going to want to come in here and just beat them down and kind of get their defense back on track, maybe get the run game started, and maybe the receivers will catch some footballs this week. But Steelers 30-13.
There it is.
We got 8 bowls this week.
We got 8. Oh,
Yeah.
I love that number.
So what do we need to get to?
We need 6.
Okay.
We need 6.
Yep. All
Let's go
right.
get it this week.
Starting.
Adam, we need a bet. You won 2 in a row, which I believe is the first time all year you won 2 in a row.
Well, we got 5 total, so that's probably right.
But hey,
What do
chance to
we-
get 3 in a row. But that's
do
what I was asking. What do we got? Like I said, I just remember right off the bat we talked about San Fran, Dallas,
We got Seattle, Washington as well.
Seattle, Washington.
We got New England, Miami. We disagreed on too.
Was it New England Miami line like +2 or 2.5?
It was 2.5. I think it's down to 1.5 now, though, right?
It's 1.5 right now.
what do we bet?
Wait, the New England.
I'm not picking that as my lock though. I said that game. I'm staying the fuck away from it.
Okay,
because
okay,
it scares the shit out of me.
Very fair. I think we could do Thursday. I mean, I like the. Who did you take the Raiders? You took
He likes riding Organza.
yeah, that's right.
I'm not riding Thursday. I guess.
Ganks learned. I think with Gonzo, I've not lost a gank, but that's all right.
Yeah.
I'm totally content taking Dallas or Washington.
I would rather the Seattle 5.5.
Okay. I'll take Washington plus 5.5.
Okay.
I like that one.
That's actually a good one. That
was gonna be close.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Because I'm with Gank on Dallas, so you know how the me and Gank versus AT go.
Yeah, it never works for Adam.
Never works.
Never works for me.
All right, let's get to locks, I guess.
You're first, guys.
It's May 1st. I'm actually ready to be quick on this one. It's the benefits of being first. I usually kind of able to pick as I go. And the first one I've written down that I knew was to be in there, Chaz, we're going to disagree. I'm going to go to your team. I'm going to take your Ravens -13 against Jacksonville. I think
Don't like it.
I think Lamar coming off his best game of the year against the Jacksonville defense that just kind of honestly hasn't been good since that random year they made the conference championship game and got robbed to the Patriots. But I think Baltimore comes out firing. I think Lamar comes out firing. I think Lamar has another huge game and Baltimore takes care of business. Now I'm going to go to my team too because I'm going to go Sunday night. I'm going to take under 45.5 in that Giant Brown game.
Come on, gank, motherfucker.
Sorry, bud. Had to take it. I kind of want to bring up past Giant games, but 45.5 Giants played 13 games this year. Not looking, just blind guess. I would guess 9 of the Giants' 13 games went under that number, and I imagine that's staying this way because I think the Giants' defense could slow Cleveland's run game, kind of change up Cleveland's offense a bit, and we all know the Giants. God knows if they're going to score or not. And last but not least, this was the toughest decision. I like those two a lot. Had about 4 or 5 to pick from between the last one, but I'm going to go with Houston +7 against Indy.
Like it. All right. I'm gonna take I'll hop on Dallas +3 first. I'm locking the Cowboys. Second, I'm gonna go over 50.5 in Tampa Bay, Atlanta. And my last one, I will take. It's probably too good to be true. But I'm gonna take the Fins -2.5.
Oh, you took the Fins from me.
Chaz, what was your first one?
Dallas +3.
All right. Well, first of all, I'm hopping on this one because I am very pleased it dropped to me. Give me Steelers -12.5. We'll take that.
Adam, I like that one a lot.
Yeah, if you weren't, I mean, you went first.
That spread division game is kind of one of the factor outs for me with that picking first. I thought I could find elsewhere. But if I was picking third, it probably would have fell to me, and I probably would have taken it.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I hope that one hits. I really think that will. Give me the under in the Rams Jets at 43.5 because I don't see the Jets getting to double digits. And I will take. Give me the Birds plus 6.5.
Ugh.
Give me the Birds.
Ugh. I hate that. I love it. I think they cover, but like,
6.5's a lot, man. Even if they don't win, I just.
yeah. Oh man.
What was that under AT in the Jets game? 43.5.
43.5.
Perfect.
Oh man. This Campbell Elon over is you bought it down, you said, right?
Yeah.
They're looking for like right at what do you buy it down to? 130 something?
131, I think.
Just gonna need a bigger second half. I mean, there's still 5.5 minutes left in the first half, but 60 points at halftime probably seems about right.
Gang, did you lock
Trade
Giants?
too bad.
Did you take
What's
Giants?
that?
Did you lock?
I
Giants?
took under 45.5 in the Giant game for the lock.
All right, Bulls.
We gotta have a winning week. We have to.
We need a winning week, boys.
Just have to. We'll find out next week.
All right.